Welcome back to the Trading Alchemist. Hey everybody, it is January 19th, 2026. It's Monday, and today is a holiday. I figured I would jump on here and just kind of give you an update from our last video. I've actually made quite a few this past weekend and at the end of the week last week, and I just wanted to follow up with a couple things that I've said. So let's jump in. First, let's zoom into this section so we can see where we are. I think the second to last video I made, we just broke up right here, and I would suggest that if you are curious what I've said, you can definitely go back to the video and take a look. Let me show you which video it is. Actually, I came up with a plan in this one. It is about 4 days ago. In here, I explained what this section was and exactly what I was looking for it to do, and yeah, so far so good. So what I was saying is that when we break a structure up top, when we break a structure, which this is what we were in before, what happens is it comes back down to retest that area. And I was saying that if you feel like you missed the move, like to pick an area down below that you would truly like to get into and just, go for it. So it has to retest this break here and also possibly this wick right over here. So why is that? Let's just be a little bit clear of what we got here. So first of all, this is a microstructure right here. This was a consolidation that it was in for quite a few days, I believe, and it broke right over here. That's where it broke structure. Also, on the bigger time frame, we've got this right here that we were stuck in, right over here. This is what we were stuck in. Actually, let me just make that a little bit lower. So this is a bigger structure that we were stuck in. I'm not gonna grab the wicks that are above it, just kind of the candle bodies themselves. So there are two areas that need to be retested. One is this group right over here. This is where the break was right here, and you can see this is where our resistance was. And the other is this right over here. And notice that a wick came and tapped right there. So when I'm giving a section, usually you see these blocks that are here, okay? And these blocks are meant to give you zones that are areas of interest. So this whole zone here is considered a long for me, right? And this is what I was saying in the other video. I would be looking to DCA into this area if it comes down lower. I wasn't looking for a short at this point. So this whole area, this block right here, is the long area. Now, if you were to take this block and split it in half, like so, find the middle of that block usually has to be hit in the middle. Usually in the middle, just like so. And you can see that this wick hit it. So now, when I look at these zones, what I look for is, I look for the middle of the block, right there, that I drew out. I look for the middle, and I look for the bottom. And I overshoot it a little bit, like into this section, for example. So if the chart came down, boom, that would trigger a long for me. Boom, that would trigger a DCA in, and then here would be the last DCA if I had to get in more, right? If that's what my bias was. So I always take a look at my blocks here, and I look for this section and this section to be taken out. So while I did point to it coming down and revisiting the top, I mean, I'm not looking for picture perfect accuracy because I'm not using super high leverage. I'm looking for a zone, okay? So here is a great spot to add on to my long. Now let's take a look at some other things here, because all signs, well, all patterns usually have multiple patterns. So if I were to draw this right here, let's see, let's get this on the 12-hour. So we're making sure that we're connected there. Yeah, we've got this trend line that it was on. Let's do this. Let's choose that one right there. Let's make it solid line so you can see it. We got a trend line right here, and what I can do is I can actually pull it out a little bit more to kind of include this wick, so that this is kind of the overshoot. Notice that the wick is there, and some of these bodies fit inside. So this is basically a zone right here. So it could be that we come over and we tap this, fill out this wick that's right over here. Either way, to me, I feel like we are in a good spot to continue up. Now, why would they bring it down so low and then, bounce it up again? Well, you have to pay attention to what the chart's been doing. The chart's been doing it every single time. You got BART patterns. BART patterns. Look. Okay, here. BART pattern over here. BART pattern. Does it mean that it's not going to go up? No, it doesn't mean that. You can obviously see that it does. It's just they're playing with the chart. I don't know what to say, right? So if it starts to spike up and you feel like you missed a move, I mean, this is obvious that you didn't miss the move. You have an opportunity to get in, right? Same thing over here. Look at this. I mean, it goes in reverse as well. So yeah, so that's what I'm looking for right now. I figured today is going to be kind of a slow day, but I will give you this warning. This week we have a ton of news that's coming out. So I do expect that when the market does come back, it becomes volatile. Now, let's go jump over to the S&P 500 because I saw something in here that I also mentioned before about this bull pattern that might be playing out. What I said is that the middle is the gravitational pull. Like that's where the focus is, right? So in this, it'll always come back to the mean in some kind of way, and it looks like it has. So if we do find some kind of bullish sentiment at all, or some bullish move, I would be looking for it to go like so, right? And if not, then I would be looking for it to go way down here, over here, staying true to this bullhorn pattern that's there. Now, whether the bullhorn pattern is real or not, I mean, again, I mentioned before that the bullhorn pattern is one of those kind of like really unbelievable patterns. Like, I just can't imagine that it move up to come and hit this in a stride, you know, or come down here. But these are reaction points. I mean, this is an order block down here, right? And this is the you know, another all-time high. I don't feel that the S&P 500 has a blow-off top yet. So if you take a look, I mean, we're close, right? This is creeping up. It's creeping up. We've had no real, you know, let me do this. We've had no real pullbacks, honestly, besides this one right over here. So are we due for a pullback? I think so. I mean, soon. Right now, I'm not sure. If we were to compare this over to silver, for example, silver is what it looks like when we're about to get a blow-off top. Ooh, I don't know what that noise was. I mean, this is straight up, and eventually this is going to, you know, it's going to pop. But during the process of it doing that, you know, there are these channels that it's made, like so. This is a channel that it's stuck to. Notice that it's creeping up, and then eventually it just kind of explodes, right? So this is what it looks like. We can go take another look at a different example. Let's go take a look at gold. Let me see if I can find gold in here. Yeah, let's see here. Gold. Yeah, I don't know where to put my gold. Where is it? This is too big of a list. I gotta clean this out. Gotta clean my list out. There it is. There's gold right there. If you take a look at gold, gold looks like it's gonna have a blow-off top. But again, what we do have is we have these moments before it shifts into that curve where it looks like it's stuck in a channel. Then it consolidates, and then we get an explosive move. And I mean, like, look at these patterns that are here, right? An explosive move. So now it is on this channel going up like so. What it'll do is it'll eventually spike up, and then it'll, you know, come back down, and that's what a blow-off top looks like. I don't think the S&P 500 is there yet. So that gives me hope that we are going to have some kind of alt run, or, you know, come back up here and try to reclaim, you know, the 120K mark or anything like that. The other thing I wanted you to be aware of is just check the video before this. I talk about alts, and this was actually one of the charts that I was pointing at during my video, was just kind of where we are on these alts. And I would start, you know, putting your antenna up to, you know, could there be some good possible entries at this point for these alts, because they are really at ground level. And I mean, like, look at what happened with Axie. That's 178% boost, you know, and I feel that a lot of these charts are going to look the same fairly soon. So go take a look at my last video that I made. I talk about alts in there, and you know, my plan is to DCA in. I'm still in long status for this, and you know, here's my Ethereum play. I am looking to add on to my long in this section right over here, possibly now. I kind of missed this on the weekend, but I am looking to add on to it because I think this is going to be taken out, and also in this area right over here, I believe we're going to come and touch this this 50% line. So anyway, I hope that was clear. Again, if you guys have any questions or anything like that, feel free to drop a message below. And if you are enjoying this content, please feel free to like and subscribe. I will see you guys later.